this is pretty much all of my powder products and face products. I do have like a liquid blush here. I tried to get most of my like blushes, bronzers, powders, highlights, everything like that all together. So what I'm going to do quickly is just kind of reorganize everything and split it all up into sections so it's easier to go through. Okay, so I have here all of my blushes, including my cream blushes, which is only 2 of them. I have the Glossier Cloud Paint and then the Rare Beauty liquid blush in the shade Joy, and the Cloud Paint is in Beam. So I have these 2 right here. I will try and do swatches for everything since I don't have like a super big collection, and I do love watching people do swatches in their own videos. So this is the Glossier Cloud Paint in the shade Beam. It's a very pretty orangey coral color. It's looking a little bit more orange on the camera than it is in person. I'm going to try and see if I can like fix that lighting for you. And then I do have this Rare Beauty one as well, which you only need like a super tiny amount of this one. So you can see that one is really pretty. It's a lot darker and a little bit more of that like pinky red tone, and they both have kind of sheer finishes, and they are my only 2 liquid blushes, so I think I am going to hold on to these ones for now, and this one is still very new to me as well. So I'm just going to put all my keep stuff over to the right side. So I do have a lot of powder blushes, as you can see here, and there definitely are some that I think I'm ready to get rid of. Not that many, since like all my MAC blushes and everything, like these are all fairly new, so I think I am going to hold on to these all for now. This one is in the shade Like Me, Love Me. This is my newest one. I purchased this one because I thought it was just the most pretty, like peachy coral shade, and you can see it's right here. This one is definitely very buildable. Like, it's not very super pigmented right when you put it on right away, but it does have such a pretty sheen to it, which I really do love. I actually purchased that one because it's very similar to this shade here in this Pacifica palette. This is the Desert Sunset palette, and this is the matte blush and bronzer, and I absolutely love the blush that's in here. It's a lot deeper, and it obviously is matte compared to that MAC one, and they look much different on camera, but in person, like, and on my cheeks, they really don't look that much different, other than the fact that the MAC one is just a little bit lighter. But you can kind of see if I put the 2 of them together, they do look quite similar. I don't know why they're looking so different on the camera. That's actually kind of funny. But I did get this because I do prefer glowy blushes, but I just loved like the color and the look of this one, so I actually am going to keep both of these as well. And then again, the other MAC blushes that I have are, this one is in the shade Warm Soul, which is just like classic. This one is a very pale pink. You can see it's just to the right of Like Me, Love Me over here, so it's more of a nude. And then I have Lovejoy, which is this shade right here, which is a bit more of a deeper nude that has this gold glitter running through it. So you can see I have that one right here, and you can see the really pretty gold shift to that one. And then, and then I have this MAC blush. This one is in the shade Prism. So this is just one of their regular like matte blushes, and it is also just like a nude, like a deep nude color, but this one is in their matte formula, which is also really, really pretty. I like to wear this one and then layer this shade right over it, which was the Lovejoy shade, this deep nude. So I'm going to keep all my MAC blushes in that Pacifica one for now. Next up, one that I think I'm ready to kind of get rid of is this Tarte blush. This is in the shade Glisten. And this one I used for such a long time, and I was really trying to like hit pan on it before I bought any more blushes. But I do think it actually is a little bit old now, so it's not as pigmented. And you can see right here, I mean, it's kind of pretty, but it does have that gold shift to it. It's like basically a dupe, I feel like, for the NARS Orgasm Blush, which I did have a mini, but I actually decluttered that one a little while ago. But it takes so much to get this to actually show up on your cheeks. Like, once I swatch it, like, it's fine, it comes up, it shows up a little bit. but it is kind of hard to get this to actually show up on my face, and I used it for so long and like I really did not make that much of a dent in it. So I think I'm ready to just pass this on to somebody else, because I don't really love like these kinds of super pink shades anymore. As you can see, I prefer more of these kind of nude shades, and then like this MAC blush is really just more of a coral, as opposed to this one is like a little bit more of like a pink with a like gold sheen to it. So I'm going to go ahead and set this to the left side, which is what my stuff that I'm going to declutter. Another one that I can declutter is kind of similar to the last one. This is just a mini of the Balm Will Powder, and this is in the shade Perseverance. This one is, again, kind of like that same shade, but this has so much gold glitter in it, it's like too much. Like, I got this in an Ipsy box, I believe, and it was just like way too much gold shimmer on my face. It just did not look good. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. Another one that I think I can get rid of, which, I mean, the other ones I'm actually probably going to keep most of them, so this will make up for it. I'm going to get rid of this one from Space Case, and It's Not Me, It's My Sign. And this one I also got in an Ipsy bag. This is very similar to, like, that ColourPop Super Shock texture, and it's also in, like, very similar packaging. You can see, it's just right here. It's a very subtle one. Like, I'm kind of digging in, and, like, it's fine. It's nothing too crazy. It's also very similar to this Kylie one that I have in the shade We're Going Shopping. It's kind of just like that rosy nude. So if I swatch them, like I swatched it right over here, they're very similar. They're not like this one is a little bit warmer, but I mean, I just prefer those shades over this kind anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one, and I'm going to keep the Kylie one. Again, that's in We're Going Shopping. And this one I got most recently in my Ipsy bag from this past month. This is the Ofra Blush in the shade Blush Rose. It's a matte blush. It's not my absolute favorite one. I think I'm going to keep it for now, though, just because it is new to me and I want to try and play around with it a little bit more. I might just layer, I have that Rare Beauty blush on my hand, but I may layer one of the more shimmery MAC ones over top of this just to try and get a little bit of use out of this one since it is new. But yeah, I'm going to keep it for now. And then this little one over here is my Fenty cream blush. This is in the shade Petal Poppin'. And this one is really, really pretty. It's a little bit more of a brighter pink than I thought it would be. I ordered this one online. Let me see. So you can see I put it right down here. It's a little bit more of that like baby pink kind of color, which isn't my like absolute favorite, but it does look really pretty on the face. I also just hate like it gets really dirty like when I put my brush in it, so it looks kind of gross, but yeah, I'm just gonna keep it for now. It was kind of expensive. It was like $20-something, I think. I'm pretty sure it was like $20, and it's very tiny like compared to my ColourPop blush. I mean, it's like crazy, but yeah, gonna keep that. Another one, this one is very new to me. It came in the mail yesterday. This is from the ColourPop Shook to the Coral, or the Coral collection. This is in the shade Shook to the Coral. It's a really, really pretty peach color with some gold shimmer in it. It's not like the other ones. It is a lot more orange, which I actually really, really like. So you can see it's right here, and it's super pigmented, and it does have those gold glitters in it, but I actually really like it with the orange. I think that it works pretty well. Sorry, this is like an awkward angle for the swatches, but yeah, I'm going to keep this one. I wore it yesterday and I loved how it looked, and of course it is new to me, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this. Then I have, I think I'm actually going to keep the rest of these. The only one I'm thinking about getting rid of is this Lorac one in the shade Technicolor. This is their Buildable Blush matte blushes, and this one's really nice. I used it for forever. I'll swatch it right here for you. It's so pretty. It's super, super pigmented. Again, it's just a matte blush, and I don't really wear it, but I don't know. You know what? I think I'm going to get rid of this one for now. It's a maybe, but I'm putting it in the get rid of pile just for now. The rest of these, I'm going to go ahead and keep. These are all of my e.l.f. blushes. These are the two in just the blush formula. This is in the shade Bespoke, and this is in the shade, so this one is Bespoke, and then this one is in the shade Blooming. So this one's like a super pale pink color. It's really the only one that I have. I went through a phase where I liked using like a super light blush and then layering my Milani Luminoso over it, which actually should be over here somewhere. I liked layering the Milani Luminoso over it, which I'm also going to be keeping because this is a classic. And it's really, really nice. Again, kind of peachy, has a really, really pretty glow to it. Sometimes I just use this instead of using like a blush and a highlighter. I'll just use only this. So I'm going to keep that, and then again, I'm going to keep this blush, and then I'm also going to keep this one. It's another dark nude, kind of similar to this MAC one. So if I were to keep one, I'd probably keep the MAC one over this, but this one is a little bit more brown and not as shimmery as the MAC one, so I'm going to keep this. I mean, it fits in my collection, so I'm not going to get rid of it. And then this one is the Satin Touch Blush. This one's really, really pretty. It's actually broken, but I mean, that just goes to show how much I really like it. I actually use this a ton, even though it doesn't look like I do. I've used this a lot. It's so gorgeous. It's just like the perfect satin finish. It's a little bit more of a nudie kind of wintry color, I guess. I don't know. I really, really like that one. And I'm going to hold on to this as well. And then last one was a really long time favorite. This is the Ciate Date Night Blush. This one is so gorgeous. It has it's kind of like a terracotta color, and it has this really pretty like highlight swirled through it. So I absolutely love this one. Swatch it right over here for you. You can see it has that really pretty glow to it. And this is just another one that I like really, really enjoy. So I'm going to hold on to this one. So the next section that I have is powders. So most of them are loose powders because I don't really use pressed powder that much. Actually, let me go and take these swatches off my hand and then I'll be right back. So as far as loose powder goes, I think there are definitely some that I can get rid of that I don't use very often. Starting off with this Jeffree Star powder. This is in beige. I liked this one at the time. I think I did use like a decent amount of it. I used like up to here maybe, kind of like a third of it. It smells like cotton candy, really nice, but I mean, it's very problematic and I don't really support the brand anymore. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and give this to one of my friends because, I don't know, I'm not really ever gonna use it. And it's not like my favorite powder in the whole world. I definitely have more that I prefer over it. Like, this is my holy grail powder, and I'm not gonna use Jeffree Star over Beauty Bakery. Just does not work. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. And then on to this one, which I was just talking about. This is my absolute favorite powder in the whole world. This is the Beauty Bakery Flower Powder in the shade Oat, which is their translucent shade. This is just the best powder in the entire world. This is my go-to. If I want my makeup to look good, I'm gonna go with this. It is just so smoothing and so just perfect. Like, it makes my under eyes look completely flawless, gets rid of any pores on my face. It is just like, it is just amazing. I am totally in love with this one, and I'm definitely going to keep it. I've actually gone through an entire one of these, and this is my second one, which is like, how many times do you go through a loose powder, you know? And I did with this one, so I feel like that says a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and keep this one. Okay, another one that I'm going to keep that's like one of my favorites is this MAC Studio Fix powder. This is in the shade NC30. It is a little bit deep, but I do like using it. Wow, it really just looks like the wrong color on me right now. But I swear when I use it on my face, but I swear when I use it on my face and I like blend it in, it works and it looks fine. Plus normally I'll like fake tan and then my face fades a lot faster than the rest of my body. So this one is just perfect for when I do that. It has a little bit of coverage to it. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this one. One that I guess I can get rid of is this Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. This is in the shade 05 Fair. I did used to have the shade that was a little bit darker. You can see I've used a ton of this, basically almost the whole thing. I've used over half of it, which is kind of cool, I guess. This one's really great as well. I love that it isn't a completely translucent one, and it does have like a little bit of coverage to it. I just don't use it as much as my Beauty Bakery powder, and then I also have like 2 other powders currently that I like more than it. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I might want to keep it, but I know I'm going to be keeping a lot, so I don't know. This is a maybe. Oh, I forgot that I actually have 2 other powders. I guess one that I can get rid of is this CoverGirl one. This is the Clean Fresh powder. This is in the shade 140 Light Pale. And it's just this one over here. It's basically kind of like the MAC Studio Fix powder. It does like the same thing. It's like the same concept. But I really just don't need another I really don't use pressed powder that often, and especially since I got the Charlotte Tilbury one, which is a good pressed powder. I don't know. I'm going to use this over everything, probably even over my MAC one, just because it was more expensive. So definitely going to get rid of the CoverGirl one, and I'm definitely going to keep the Charlotte Tilbury one, and I have mine in the shade 2 medium, so I'm going to keep this one. Another one, this is actually a pressed powder, after I'm saying that I don't use pressed powder. This is a little bit different. I would say this is more similar to kind of what the Hourglass powders would be like, where they have a little bit of a glow to it. So I'm going to kind of like put this over here, and then you can see it does like have a shimmer, not a shimmer, but just like a radiance to it. So I really like to use this as a finishing powder if I feel like my overall makeup is just kind of looking a little bit dry and a little bit lifeless. This is, again, the Ciate Marbled Light Cashew Powder. Well, mine's in the shade Cashew. But I really, really like this one as a finishing powder, so I'm going to keep that one. This is the other powder that I was talking about that I use most often other than my Beauty Bakery one. This is the Lawless Seal the Deal powder, and I have mine in the shade Classic Translucent. This one is just, you know, a regular classic translucent powder, nothing crazy. I do try to use this one over my Beauty Bakery one on like a daily basis if I'm not trying to make sure my makeup looks like completely perfect, because this one is actually talc free, and the Beauty Bakery one, the #1 ingredient is talc, and I'm trying to not use as much talc. So I'm going to keep this one. One that, I don't know, I feel guilty getting rid of this because so many people love it. It's the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. I used it a couple times. It's just nothing super great. It's not as finely milled as the Beauty Bakery one, so this one makes my skin look like completely flawless and poreless. Where this one, it gets the job done, but it's just nothing like crazy, and I know one of my friends will probably like this more than me. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. This is, I guess it's technically a concealer, but it is a powder. This is the Bare Minerals Well Rested Concealer. So this one is actually just like a very pigmented powder, and I love using this. Using this over top of like really stubborn breakouts is like such a good like cover up. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just so pigmented. Like I just dot it on and it just covers like instantly everything, and it's just really, really good. So I don't know. I feel like this one is just, I'm definitely keeping this one. This is another one that's new to me. This came in my Ipsy bag again this month. It's the Tarte Shape Tape Setting Powder in the shade Translucent. Looks like this. It had like a little puff in it, but I took the puff out, and it's just like one of these little like, nets like that. It's fine. I used it under my eyes and it made them look a little bit dry. So I think I'm going to play around with it a little bit more, but if I don't like it, and like I'm still reaching for my other powders a lot more over it, then I'm just gonna, I think I'm gonna get rid of it, or, you know, give it to somebody else. But for now I'm gonna keep it just because it's new to me, but just know it's not my like absolute favorite right now. Alright, so that completes the powder, so I think we're gonna go on to bronzers. Oh, I actually found 2 more little powders. I have a Rimmel Stay Matte pressed powder. I use this like twice. I think I can get rid of this one. I barely ever use pressed powder, and now I have a lot more than I thought I did, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. And then I have this little e.l.f. like, I don't even know what this is. It says sheer on the bottom. I think it's like their under eye setting powder, possibly. I don't know. I'm just, oops. It just seems like it would give you a lot of flashback, and I'm not about that. So I'm just going to get rid of this little, like, sample.